Welcome to the review of Humankind, a historical strategy game with up to 60 different civilizations to create your own unique civilization and lead your people from the ancient age all the way through to the modern age. Humankind is a 4X game, which, if you're new to the genre like me, you might not have any idea what that means. 4X means explore, expand, exploit, and exterminate. It's often compared to games like Civilization. However, there are some key differences, such as the way you choose your civilizations. Instead of picking one civilization from the start, you'll choose and upgrade your civilizations every time you advance an era, giving you variety and keeping the game fresh by combining different styles of play. You might want to focus on trading with your first civilization, but you see some resources you really like near one of your alliances and decide it's time you were more like the Huns. The game starts by allowing you to create your character's avatar. While you don't see your character in the game, your people will all know how handsome you are, and you'll have opportunities to build statues, artwork, and choose to force your people to admire you or go down in history as a more humble ruler. Exploration and resources are pretty straightforward in the early game. You'll take the units you started with, and you'll move them around the map, collecting resources that you just need to walk over.
Delicious. Though next time, it might be better if you washed it first.
There are 4 resources that you collect through pickup, building, infrastructure, and trade with alliances. And those are going to be food, industry, money, and science. Food is what you use to grow your population. You can build farms in your cities or outposts, or gain it through harbors. Your industry is used for constructing things, whether it's your units, districts, cultural wonders, or pretty much anything else. Money is used to buy out the building completion. So when you make a building or you placed out a farm, it takes time to build, and you can buy out that build to get it immediately if you wanted to. This gets more expensive depending on what you're building or how long it takes. Science is the last one, and it's used to research tech. You have a huge tech tree, which unlocks new units, districts, abilities, or bonuses. Overall, the building and researching was pretty cool. It's very extensive, and there was a lot to decide on, whether it was the type of civilization I wanted to be, or is the type of tech tree that I wanted to go down, or it was where I wanted to focus my building and resources and spend my gold at first. As someone who's, again, not used to playing the Civilization games, it took me a little bit to understand kind of where I wanted my focus and how to make myself stand out in a specialization that I liked. Combat in the early game is just fighting animals while you explore, with options for instantaneous combat if you don't want to go through the back and forth clicking to attack. Later on, however, combat requires heavy strategy, as you and your enemies control larger groups, and one wrong chess move could put you back pretty far. Here, you see me testing out combat with the Automate Battle button. It's going to let the computer make your move, attack, and end turn for you. I proceed to get obliterated, but I was pretty heavily outnumbered and just wanted to see how the combat mechanics worked. If I had more units or could surround the enemy or make my own tactical moves, I think I would have been a lot more successful. In my first 4 hours of gameplay, the AI only attempted to ally with me or enact peace. So if you don't want to rush into fighting, you don't have to. The better way would be to expand your lands and resources, build up your age, research whatever technologies you think are going to be important to you or fit with your civilization, and then you'll want to consider what you want to do down the road. You can start a war with anyone at any time, so you can really set yourself up pretty well if you have the patience. Influence is very important. When you meet other civs, you'll start by introducing yourself, but as the game progresses, you'll start to trade by importing and exporting resources you need or you have excess of. You'll decide how to respond to grievances which come up, which can happen if you do something another civ doesn't like, or if you have a different state religion, if you're trespassing and you don't have an open border policy, or even if you claim a territory with a natural wonder that someone else discovered before you. Influence in your relationships with other civs will have a large effect on every aspect of your game. It can be hard to tell where the game is going to lead and what's going to happen in the future, so best not to make every single civ your enemy right off the start. The game has a great tutorial system. When you first start playing, the game will ask what level of tutorial you would like, whether you're new to the genre or a long-time Civilization fan. While it will explain the systems and how to play while you're going through your first playthrough, you also have access to tutorials page on the main menu, which will cover everything from the basics to city building to your economy, all the way up through influence and war. The game really opens up if you take the time to learn its different systems, and personally, the more I learned, the more exciting the game got for me. It can be a little overwhelming, so just go at your own pace and do your best to have fun with it. Overall, I think Humankind is a solid game. The graphics are fantastic and feel modern, the gameplay is smooth and constantly engaging, and there's a lot of variety in the way you can approach every single aspect, whether it's your building or whether it's you want to start war immediately, exploration, whether you want to do something very unique. There's a lot of options. As someone who's tried the game with no previous 4X experience, I was more and more engaged as the game went on, and I can see myself playing through it with patience now that I have the general mechanics down and understand what I'm aiming for in the endgame. Thank you for watching the video. It was my first one, and I had a lot of fun with it. If you enjoyed it, feel free to subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.